have the full picture because they don't want you to know what the full picture is.
No, there are a few of us that did have a lot of the whole picture because we had to know. I coined a word called psychobiophysics. You can't know one thing and operate in the dark without knowing other things. So there's a lot of self-study, there's a lot of on-the-job training.
Now, did you meet with these beings every day or every week or once a month, or how did that work?
Every day. As a matter of fact, I had living quarters there.
The beings do, or you did?
I did. And so did they.
But the beings, there's a lot of speculation they're being held captive. Is that true?
Some are. Some are,
Why?
and some, well, because they really don't want to be held against their will.
How do they keep them there? How do they keep a being that can dematerialize?
They can't dematerialize if there is a very, very powerful electromagnetic field around them. They can't get through that.
How'd we learn that that was one way to keep them in prison?
Failure. Failure to keep them.
How do we feed them? What do they eat? I know it's not strawberry ice cream.
It's not strawberry ice cream. No, no. It's believe it or not, it's a lot of nuts, vegetation, mushrooms. The funny thing is that their eating requirements are so different that they seem to be able to absorb energy from the air in the form of particulates, whereas they don't seem to need to evacuate bowels or absorb too much water and have to evacuate the water as waste materials. They seem to process things thoroughly and not have the same. That's why I said, really, I hope we evolve a little bit more so that we're not stuck to our bathrooms as much as we are.
Does the cattle mutilations have something to do with the cloning process with these beings?
No. As a matter of fact, it has nothing to do with cloning, it has nothing to do with eating. It has plenty to do with nourishing some of the between people that they create.
That's what the cattle mutilation
yeah, and also trying to develop similar embryonic fluids the way, a mother never rejects the baby, and this even goes, ask Sitchin, this goes back to Sumerian tablets where evidently ancient peoples were not as stupid as we would like to think they were. That there are multiple holes in some skulls and not blunt force trauma. Evidently that holes were drilled, brain surgery was possible. And the most stunning thing about birth is that no woman's body rejects that embryo. And that embryonic fluid contains certain things that they're after trying to duplicate by mutilation. Mutilation is a tough word because visit the Chicago stockyards sometime if you want to see real mutilation. Those cattle don't suffer this way. They do when somebody has a sledgehammer and it's hitting them over their head.
The crop circles. Now I've heard that the original ones were from years back were done by the ETs, but now we've duplicated the technology and we use a satellite type of laser pulse beam that is actually tied in with the SDI projects, And what the satellite
Yeah,
is...
but when we do it, the plants die. When they do it, the plants don't die.
But you're confirming that a satellite that's stationed over England, and we have a secret base in the Himalayas, evidently, where some scientists are duplicating just kind of for the fun of it to say, we can do it.
No scientist does anything for the fun of it for the government.
What's their process? Because evidently most of the crop circles being done now are being done by our government.
If they are alive, they're not being done by the government. If the plants
it's not the same chemical change.
The plants are laying down in a circle, and more complex circles. And the plant is still living and continues to live, and it's not man.
But you know some of the crop circles are being done by our scientists. What is their intentions? Why are they doing that? Just to fool the public in certain ways?
No, actually, it's to try to figure out, number one, how it's done. Number two...
We've already figured out how it's done.
Well, yeah, but they don't produce
the same chemical effects. Yes.
The same botanical life that continues to go on.
But the designs themselves, many of the intricate designs, are being done by the satellite that's over England.
Well,
did you know that?
Where did you hear this?
I have my sources.
Well, that's an interesting idea.
It's not an idea.
Well, okay.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Well,
and it's kind of sad in a way, because
a lot of unfortunate things are true, but it's also a way of getting at interpretation.
Well, and checking the public's reaction to this. Because the public has no idea how...
They're constantly checking the public's reaction to things because, as I said, that very basic human quality of just knowing and being secure in what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning is unfortunately not going to help very many people if they don't have that same security. Then there is an issue of religious problems.
Well, let's get into that. What did you learn from these ETs regarding religious issues? Can you talk about what they knew of Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad? Can you get into any of the religious concepts that would be pretty diverse?
Approximately 2 millennia ago, a Homo sapien alien was brought here to try to help man on the moral and ethical roads that has been straying from before and since. Before he arrived and after he left.
Now you're saying he was brought here, but she was artificially inseminated, supposedly.
Well, that's a way of bringing somebody here.
Did these beings say that was what was done?
No. And I can't tell you what they did say, but I would imagine the Catholic Church is readying itself for something like that because they have already said that God, man is created in the image of God, but that is the soul, the spiritual part of man.
What are these beings?
Necessarily the physical part. And the Pope has already done an encyclical letter on that.
I've heard that just about every